Is parenting important? If so, why it's easier for us adults to engage in a career, in additional studies, in some projects, and we don't have university for parents? Parenting can be done without a degree, without a license, but with full power over another human being. Is that right? Is parenting easy? No. Let me start with a story of one mom and her trip back from summer holiday. She had been waiting all year for her dream vacation. If this mother could recognize what she was feeling, she knew it was a mixture of disappointment and sadness. The dream vacation turned out to be a disaster, resulting in endless arguments with her family. But the trip was not only difficult for her. All family members did not have their needs met. But she doesn't see this. She only sees the behaviors, and these are frustrating for her. The older son is already tired at the airport, and the delayed flight is making him extremely agitated. He clutches his brother and squeals. If the mother could recognize what she was feeling, she would know that she is experiencing some unpleasant emotions, like anger, like shame, like fear, which she neither noticed nor knew how to handle. But someday, she will learn how to recognize this unpleasant energy in emotion, and regulate it. But this mom isn't equipped to support her son. She herself doesn't know her own internal landscape. So how can she have additional resources for others? She is looped in her head and overwhelmed with thinking. And not only was she thinking about the event itself, but she put an additional layer of judgment. You are hopeless. You can't cope. You could have planned it differently. It's all your fault. Someday, she will learn that you don't have to fight this inner critic. And kindness towards yourself works so much better. And self-compassion is a great antidote to self-criticism and shame. But suddenly something happens that pulls her out of her head. And for the moment, she lands in the present, thanks to her son, the only time zone her 7-year-old son is living in. Because normally her mind jumps to the past as she unravels and wonders what mistakes she has made. Or the mind goes into the future, where her fears are already multiplied. So she lands in the present because her son, who is a deaf child, threw his hearing device into the crowd of people. She is terrified. Sometime later, she will find out that her son is on the autism spectrum. And a couple of months later, this mom will burn out. And then, being afraid that this is the end and that she will disappear, she starts to learn how to take care of herself first. She will get to know her likes and dislikes, what supports her, what drains her. Is she a people pleaser? What are her boundaries? And what are her invisible barriers? This mom will learn mindfulness and start meditating, even though she thought it wasn't for her. She will learn the power of compassion and self-compassion, and that will be a real game changer. If someone had told this mother that there would be more joy and peace in her family, she would have believed it. that she would become a mindfulness teacher to support other parents, that she would set up an NGO supporting school teachers in Poland, that she would give a TED Talk about making parenting easier. She would have believed it. So what has changed? Or maybe first, what hasn't changed? Husband, the same, although as he believes, he absorbs some of the methods by osmosis. Smart, isn't it? Children, the same, now teenagers, so you understand the challenge. So what has changed for this mother, for this mom, for myself? The level of consciousness inside me. Manifestation, so my behaviors externally. And seeing joy in life as a skill. I would like to invite you on a journey where you change the paradigm. You shift the energy and the focus from the child into the parent, into yourself, into your consciousness, into your unconsciousness, into your invisible barriers, into parenting from the inside out. Is parenting about children or about parents? It seems to be about parents, as the name suggests, because otherwise it would be called differently, right? If it is about parents, so why is it that most often we concentrate on the child? On the child's behaviors, on the child performance. In today's parenting, we worry so much about our children and want to fix them. We often micromanage their lives as we believe it will help them to be happy and successful. And no one really knows what happy and successful means. Unfortunately, many parents pass on emotional pain and trauma from their past to their children. I've been there, done that. What I discovered for myself is scientifically proven. By focusing on the development of self-awareness, on recognizing and removing internal barriers, we become the awakened, present, supportive parent our children really need. We recognize and eradicate our unhelpful habits before they take roots in our children. So, how to make parenting easier? Please try these 3 steps. These steps are simple, but they are not easy. Nevertheless, once you embark on the journey, parenting will be easier, I promise. So, step number 1, be conscious. But what does it mean? Conscious of what? It means to be aware of what is happening both inside me and outside while it's happening, but with certain qualities, with acceptance and kindness. The good news is it can be learned. As my great teacher and mentor in the field of conscious parenting, Dr. Shefali says, we live patterns and not our lives. Patterns from our parents, previous generations, teachers, country, culture, religion, and so on. We have so many internal barriers to see our limiting beliefs that the very first step is to raise our consciousness. You can stop the cycle. Live consciously, manifest it. Living consciously is daily work to be present with our own needs, with our own internal landscape, and then be present with the world, with parents, partners, children. Only then we can let them thrive. How I understand conscious parenting? It's about the parent your children really need you to be, and not the parent you think they need. That's a big distinction. And there is a huge shift in parenting when you can fully embrace the idea. Be the parent they need as long as they are with us. It's not that long. 20% of our life, roughly. And then set them free. Let them fly. And first step, practice joy. Savor good moments. Have you ever heard about the negativity bias of our brain? Do you know that our brain was not designed to be happy, but to be safe, to protect us? That is why, as Rick Hanson says, our brain is like Velcro for negative experiences, but Teflon for positive ones. That's why we will easily catch all the difficult moments with children, partners, parents. And we need effort to remember and store good moments, good memories. We need practice. It won't happen by default. And now, I would like to share a personal story with my younger son when I already knew the benefits of mindfulness and self-compassion, so I can show you how the above 3 steps work in practice. My younger son began at some point to listen to music by a rapper with highly inappropriate content for his age, both in terms of lyrics and form. The fascination with the artist was as strong as my resistance. So I started figuring out how can I control it. But you know, he's 12, he's smart, so you understand the challenge. And I realized I was acting automatically. So I paused, and I began to check within myself what I used to be told about unsuitable artists for me, what is currently thought about performers cursing from the stage, and so on. Surprising things show up for me, but there was also a curiosity to accompany my son on this journey, to be open to what is important for him right now. It also turned out that there is a concert planned for this rapper in our city soon, and my son started begging me to go with him. Well, we bought the tickets, and let me tell you, these kind of moments I will remember for the rest of my life. I felt honored I could accompany my son to his first ever concert. I felt grateful to myself that I didn't act automatically. I witnessed my son's pure joy, and I myself plugged into this young musical energy. I was also thankful I practiced some sound exercises in mindfulness when you hear the sounds, the words, but you don't engage with them. This helped me a lot not to be triggered by the lyrics during the concert. I was simply enjoying the moments with all my senses and not developing thinking process in my head. I was so grateful for this moment of pausing before reacting, for this inner space I could choose my response and break my barriers to teenage exploration. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. This space can be developed by mindfulness practice. You can reduce your reactivity. You can learn the nature of thoughts. They come and go. You don't have to believe them. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. My name is Weronika Chmielewska. I'm a certified mindfulness teacher and conscious parenting coach in Dr. Shefali Institute in New York. My passion is to support adults who care for children. I co-created EduMind Mindfulness in Education Foundation, where we support school teachers in Poland, and My Mindful Way, where I work with parents to make parenting easier. Some believe we only have one life. I do believe if you live consciously, it's enough. Thank you.